What's up, everyone? Raphael here, Apple Address, addressing all things Apple Inc. The latest software update and Mac news for WWDC 2022 is here. There's been speculation, rumors about what we're going to expect in WWDC in June. Here's the latest software news coming out of Cupertino. iOS 16, codenamed Sydney, is rumored to have minor interface changes. The update will focus more on bug fixes and software stability. There's speculation that iOS 16 will provide an update to health tracking features and notifications. Therefore, don't expect to see significant interface changes other than that. Usually we all get excited. We want to see some new iteration of iOS, a new look, a new fresh way of experiencing the software. But I don't think we'll see this at WWDC this year. At least there hasn't been any particular rumors about the software changes. Now, as we get closer to WWDC, we might see that. Interestingly enough, programmers and others are finding reference codes for the rumored virtual headset and how the headset is tied to the iPhone and maybe some other devices for functionality. Bloomberg's Mark Gurman doesn't think that the mixed reality headset is ready to present during the June event. Gurman states that the headset will be launched later in the year, possibly 2023. If we don't see the headset during the event, we will get a peek at the operating system for the headset, which is rumored to be called ROS. iPadOS 16 could see a few welcome features. One feature, a new way to multitask. WatchOS 9, we won't see many feature changes as well to WatchOS, but there's speculation that we could see some new watch faces and health track. I haven't heard any new macOS 13 or tvOS 16 features, according to my research. As we get closer to the virtual event, WWDC, Apple has invited some students and developers and media to attend in person during the virtual event. So that's interesting, because why are you inviting people to attend in person if you're not going to release some form of product or possibly experience the new software updates or software for a new product coming out? So it is my speculation that they have to release or present to us the virtual headset, the AR VR headset. That would be the perfect way to introduce the product, have actual people at the event with the headsets on, experiencing the software, experiencing the product. So I don't think Apple is just inviting people there just to witness the virtual event. Now, will we see some new hardware? In the past, Apple had released new Macs during WWDC. This year, we could see 2 new Macs, according to Mark Gurman. Gurman was told that a new version of the MacBook Air and other models will be introduced in the mid-year or early second half. But what about the Mac Pro? They usually release the Mac Pro or present the Mac Pro at WWDC. The last time that happened was 2 years ago with the cheese grater Mac Pro. Apple is getting close to its 2-year Apple Silicon transition, so WWDC would be the perfect opportunity to present the new Mac Pro. So Apple will likely use the event to show us the new Mac Pro with a later release date. What can we expect to see with the MacBook Air? It makes sense to put the new M2 chip in this machine. A new slim design and form factor with new colors. Will we see a slight increase in screen size with white bezels and a white keyboard layout? It's possible. I'm sure we'll see the same screen camera cutout design like the current MacBook Pros, which everyone was so conflicted about. We should also expect improved speakers, camera, MagSafe, and 2 USB ports, maybe one on each side of the machine. Now, what can we expect to see with the new Mac Pro? The update to this machine will be interesting to see because if Apple stays true to form and offer true modularity, how will they accomplish this with the new M variant of the Mac Pro? Will we see a much smaller cheese grater machine? Will it be similar to the Mac Studio but beefier with more fans? I can't wait to see Apple's top of the line computer and its crazy performance. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on these two machines, the MacBook Air and the Mac Pro. What do you expect to see? Okay, this just in. Gurman just dropped another bombshell stating that Apple is testing 9 new Macs with M2 chips, and not only that, but 4 different versions of the M2 chips. So that's the regular M2, M2 Pro, M2 Max, M2 Ultra. This is crazy. So with this recent report, will we get to see what Apple has been working on? And as I stated earlier, 2 of the Macs are ready to go, according to Gurman, when Apple decides to release them. That's the MacBook Air and the Mac Pro. So the question is, will these 2 Macs, the Air and the Pro, contain the new M2 architecture? So Gurman is saying that the testing of the 9 Macs were revealed or leaked from third-party apps within the software from the Mac App Store. What does that mean? Well, Apple is running tests on these machines, and it's evident from the app logs, and developers are relaying this information to Gurman. This is exciting because Gurman he also gets more specific by providing the exact machines being tested with the new M2 chips based on the logs, the leaked logged information from the apps. A MacBook Air with M2 chip, codename J413, which will have 8 CPU cores and 10 GPU cores. Then you have the Mac Mini with an M2 chip, codename J473, same specs as the MacBook Air. There's also an M2 Pro variation, codename J474, in testing. Gurman goes further. There's an entry-level MacBook Pro with an M2 chip, codename J493, same specs as the MacBook Air. So you have the MacBook Air and the new MacBook Pro with the M2s, same specs, different code name. A 14-inch MacBook Pro with M2 Pro and M2 Max chips, codename J414. The M2 Max chip has 12 CPU cores and 38 GPU cores. It will also have 64 gigabytes of memory. A 16-inch MacBook Pro with M2 Pro and Max chips, codename J416. The model will also have the same specs as the 14-inch MacBook Pro version. Then you have a Mac Pro, codename J180. This machine will include a successor to the M1 Ultra chip used in the Mac Studio, which we should see this machine at WWDC. Gurman goes further to confirm that Apple is also testing a Mac Mini with an M1 Pro, the same as the current 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pros. The code name for this machine is J374. Why stop there? Apple is also testing an M1 Max version of the Mac Mini as well. But I'm not sure how to take that bit of information. They could be testing that, but the new Mac Studio could make these machines redundant, right? Why would you buy a M1 Pro or M1 Max version of the Mac Mini if you already have the Mac Studio that has the M1 Max and the M1 Ultra? The only reason I can think of why Apple would test that and maybe think about possibly releasing that machine would be to have that in the middle there to get people to justify, okay, well, instead of buying this, I might as well just buy the Mac Studio, which costs more. This is basically the full lineup we should expect for 2022. These new M2 chips will provide a CPU and GPU core increase than the M1 versions across the board. So we should expect minor increases in all of the release models in the already impressive single and multi-core score performance when comparing to the M1 to the M2. These M2 chips will catapult Apple computer even further, ahead of Intel and ahead of AMD and etc., all the other companies. Well, that's it, everyone. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Apple news. Peace out.